Yes, again, you're welcome back to class, and this is the seventh class, I believe, seventh class of the fourth module of the product owner training. And in this seventh class, we'll be looking at customer visualization. It's one of those things a product owner is expected to know. So please be attentive on this. In the last class, we looked at requirement gathering, but in this class, we'll now look at customer visualization as one of those things the product owner does. Let's jump right into it. It should be a short lesson, right? So what then is customer visualization? We can see from the picture there is identifying, mapping out the customer to the product. So customer visualization, also known as customer journey mapping or user journey mapping, is a visual representation of the various touch points and interactions that the customer has with a product, service, or organization throughout their entire experience. Customer visualization, visual representation of various touch points. Part of the touch points could be pain points and interactions that the customer has with the product, service, or organization throughout their experience. So we want to understand from the customer's perspective how that product journey is. We are matching that product to the customer so that we can have a feedback on the product from the customer. It's a visual representation of various touch points and interactions that the customer has with the product, service, or organization. It provides a comprehensive view of customer interactions, emotions, needs, and pain points at each stage of their journey. So the customer visualization helps us understand if this customer needs are met, if the customer is satisfied, or what is left to be satisfied. Helps us to have the clear picture from the customer's eyes, right? So it helps teams better understand and address customer needs and improve their overall experience. That's what customer visualization is. So where you develop a product end to end and the customer uses it from the point the customer logs onto that platform, you want to track and understand the satisfaction or displeasure of the customer. That goes further to help in the improvement of that particular product. Okay, so that's what customer visualization is. You should be able to put it in more perspective. Different products you have engaged with. There are some products when you try to log in, it could give you lots of fields that need to be entered, lots of difficulties, and all the rest. So the customer visualization allows us to see from the customer's eyes. Next slide. Some of the benefits of customer visualizations are it gives us the advantage of developing a user-centered design. This is where UI UX professionals come in, user experience, product designers, and all the rest come into the picture. So we want to develop a product that puts the customer in the center of that product. User-centered design. Another benefit is it helps us to improve the experience. I've mentioned that earlier. It also helps us to align the development or the design, to tailor the development towards what the end users want. Of course, it improves innovation. It brings new innovation. Of course, where we begin to see from the eyes of the customers, we begin to appreciate what the customers see, and we now want to think on what the customer wants, bringing about innovation. It gives us that data-driven decisions. Of course, when you begin to know clearly the pain points of the customers, you know where your decisions should be. Where you begin to understand at what point or various points the customers drop off that platform. That informs your decision. When the analysis begin to point in a particular direction as bottleneck, that would inform the decisions you make. It brings better empathy. Of course, when you are sitting in the same position as the customer, you'll be able to experience what the customer experiences and now begin to improve the product. That's product improvement, and of course risk reduction. When you know the pain points and you profile solutions to those pain points, you are reducing the risk that could come up. And in the next slide, we have what we call the persona identification, which is the process of creating fictional representations of the target users or customers. Personas are detailed and semi-fictional profiles that represent the key characters, needs, goals, behaviors, and preferences of specific user groups or segments. Take, for instance, you want to develop a new brand and your demography is to a culture that would not give value to what you have developed, then that is not useful. Imagine you want to move winter jackets to Africa, temperate region. That persona, the demography or the characters or the nature of people in that region as want. So a product as winter jacket would be a bad market for such a region, right? Or if you decide to want to sell, let's say, a brand of hair to a region that would not even use it in the first place. So that's what persona identification is pointing at. The fictional representation. So as a product owner, you want to imagine, you want to create the character of the user for that product. You want to create the character of the user. You want to think in that perspective. Who is using this product? how best would this product serve the person. So in understanding the demography of those that want to use the product, then you would be able to develop a product that suits their need. That's what persona is talking about. And the last slide, please. Persona identification includes user research. I mentioned that earlier when I was talking about customer visualization. User research, segmentation, persona creation, empathy and perspective, when you're able to see from their eyes, scenario mapping, validation and refinement. Please note all this down and expand on them. Read further to enrich further knowledge on this. So that will be the end of this class. We'll see you again in the next class. Perhaps you have some questions. Please note them down and send them across. I'll be glad to give some broader explanations on them. See you in the next class.